Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Academy Barons Baseball. It's a lovely Tuesday afternoon as your Academy Barons get set to take on the San Diego Bombers. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. It's the first meeting between the Bombers and the Barons this season. Last year, these two teams were evenly matched, but it was the Bombers who won 3 of the 5 matchups. The Barons this summer are off to a 1-2 start and are coming off back-to-back heartbreaking losses. They fell to the Arroyo Seco Saints 6-5 on Saturday, then gave up a walk-off home run to the Conejo Oaks in a 5-4 defeat on Sunday. 2 one-run losses to end opening weekend. We'll see how the Barons respond on their home turf this evening. And for the Bombers, they had a rough opening week to begin their season. Their closest game was a 4-2 loss to the Orange County Riptide last Tuesday, but following that game, they lost 13-0 to the Riptide on Friday and were trounced 16-9 by the Arroyo Seco Saints on Sunday. The pitching has been a struggle early on for the Bombers as they try to find their groove to begin the 2026 season. The Bombers are led by manager Scott Stanley. We do have some other coaches, as Scott Stanley is the main head coach and also the GM, but their team is in a split squad today. So Chase Bowen is the lead assistant, Brock Wilkinson and Chase Mendez are 2 assistants as well on the staff. But Scott Stanley not here with the San Diego Bombers. He's in Palm Springs as the other part of San Diego Bombers takes on the Palm Springs Power. The Academy Barons are led by first-year manager James Bishop. He is joined by pitching coach AJ Monterez, assistant coaches Lorenzo Gray, Tank Kazarian, Taishi Nakawake, and Jonathan Largaspada. In last year's first meeting between the two teams, the Barons walked it off on the Bombers on opening night. We'll see how things develop in this year's first meeting between the two. Starting lineups and first pitch when we come back.
What player on the Barons would make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welsher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Konoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer. Jimmy Welsher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jay Klinoski.
I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the sack.
I think I'd have to give it to probably one of the youngsters, probably Campo or Chip. I feel like they would make it. Campo he's our catcher. He's been calling games all summer.
Best head coach. Honestly, Jimmy's probably a good pick. He's been in the game, or Klinoski. He's been in the game a while, so that's probably the best option.
Easy answer. I choose myself.
Back from commercial break, my name is Noah Alvarez. Glad you could join us on this Tuesday evening. The Barons are coming off back-to-back losses and hope to regain their footing tonight against the visiting San Diego Bombers. It's a lovely evening, 75 degrees in the city of Compton. It's going to be a bit warmer this week. This will be the last cool day that we have. Tomorrow's temperatures expected to rise into the high 80s, but that's tomorrow's problems. For the Barons tonight, they'll take on the San Diego Bombers. They'll be in their visiting black pinstripe uniforms, while the Barons are in their home blue uniforms and the white bottoms. You see Shamir Marshall, the starting pitcher for the Barons, getting his warm-up pitches in, and let's get you the starting lineups for both sides. For the San Diego Bombers, led by manager Scott Stanley, Jackson Summers bats in the leadoff spot, followed by third baseman Isaac Castañon. In the 3 spot, it's right fielder Jeremy Jones. Batting cleanup is the shortstop E.J. Barnes. Royce Davis bats 5th and does the DH duties. Gannon Dwyer is batting 6th. Josh Tornillo plays 2nd and bats 7th. Aaron Mingo, left fielder, bats 8th. And rounding out the order is the catcher Grayson Wren. That's the starting lineup for the San Diego Bombers. They're an affiliate member team here in the California Collegiate League. They're 0-3 to start the season. Shamir Marshall gets the start, his first of the summer season for the Academy Barons. An alumni of the program, played in the 2024 season, so 2 summers ago. We'll get you the starting defense around him after the first pitch. Nigel Buckley sets up outside. Marshall misses low and in. In the outfield from left to right, John Arnold, Jackson Tyler, and Chip Mertz. At third base, Nathaniel Williams, Elijah Clayton at short, Mark Emmerman at second. Ball hit on the ground for Clayton. To his right, gathers his feet. Strong throw, and that's the first out of the inning. On the right side of the infield, Mark Emmerman and Jason Del Villar at first, while it's Nigel Buckley calling balls and strikes. Umpire crew for today, Oscar Carrillo behind the dish, Dax Viata at first base, and Joshua Kopenberger at third base. That's the umpire crew today. 1 out in the top of the first inning. 2 pitches for Shamir Marshall, and he gets his first left-hander. Castañon sends the first pitch foul out of play. Castañon, a native to Rialto, out in the Inland Empire. Played at Riverside City College this past season. Fouls the next pitch straight back, and he's down in the count 0-2. For Castañon, it's his 4th appearance for the Bombers, so he's played in all 4 games. Started 3 of them. 1 hit and 5 at-bats. Marshall goes from the windup. Castañon hits another foul. 3 straight foul balls to begin the at-bat. Barons led by manager James Bishop. It's his first year as the manager of the program, but he's been an assistant for 17 seasons. Castañon steps back in. 0-2 the count. That's on the corner, strike 3. Marshall gets his strikeout for the second out of the inning. The Barons have had strong pitching performances to start off the year as a team. They've used many different arms, and they have a 2.89 ERA. It hasn't been the pitching that has failed them in their 2 losses this season. Jeremy Jones steps in for his first at-bat. Marshall misses below the knees. The Barons won 5-1 in their first game Friday, lost 6-5 in their game Saturday, and then lost 5-4 in their first road game Sunday. That loss on the road was in walk-off fashion. That game went 11 innings as well, a longer game than expected at Ventura College. It's a 2-0 count. Nobody on base, 2 outs. That's over for strike 1. Marshall is a native to Compton. Went to Dorsey High School and eventually played here at Compton College 1 season. Played at West LA College for the other. And then he transferred to Vanguard University, a Division II program that plays in the Pac West. It's a 3-1 count as he misses upstairs. Still has one more year of eligibility going into his senior season. The next pitch is misses well outside. Skips away from Buckley, but Jones takes a trot to first base. First base runner for the San Diego Bombers. Chance for the cleanup hitter, E.J. Barnes. It's his first game of the season for the San Diego Bombers. He's listed on their roster on the website, but hasn't recorded a statistic this summer through their first 3 games. The first pitch misses upstairs. Runner on first, small lead. Back-to-back misses, and the count goes to 2-0. E.J. Barnes is a native to San Diego, California. Will be a redshirt junior this upcoming season. This sails over Buckley's head. It gets to the net. Some trouble as Marshall falls behind. Jeremy Jones takes second on the wild pitch. .3-0 count. Marshall makes a move back to second. Ammerman applies the tag. Jones in safely. 2 outs, top of the first inning. That's over for strike 1 of the at-bat. Barnes spent this past season with the Southwestern Community College Jaguars. They played down in Chula Vista, California. 3-1 pitch on the inner half. That's strike 2. Big pitch for Marshall as he looks to get out of the top of the first inning. 2 outs, runner on second. Royce Davis on deck. The payoff pitch to Barnes. Barnes sends it up the middle. It skips off the mound and into center field. They wave Jones in. That's the first run of the ball game. Bombers lead 1-0 in the top of the first. Tough at bat between E.J. Barnes and Shamir Marshall. Marshall fell behind 3-0, planted 2 good pitches in the zone to run the count full, but it was Barnes who came out on top, an RBI single. He's at first. 2 outs. Bombers lead 1-0. Chance for Royce Davis, the designated hitter. Marshall misses inside. This past season at Vanguard, Marshall was used primarily as a starter. Out of his 8 appearances, he started 6 ball games. He was rather effective. If you're unfamiliar with the Division II level of baseball, they'll usually do double headers. And the second doubleheader is a 7-inning ball game. Shamir Marshall was often asked to pitch in one of those 7-inning games. A lot of teams at the Division II level do a 4-game series, back-to-back days with doubleheaders. Ball's in the dirt. Barnes stays at first, and Marshall falls behind another hitter, 3-0. Marshall pitched 25 innings, picked up 21 strikeouts to 15 walks, gave up 24 earned runs, or 24 runs, 17 of which were earned. Batters only hit .233 against him. He has nice stuff when he's able to locate the zone. It's his first appearance this season for the Academy Barons. 3-0 pitch is above the letters. Back-to-back base runners reach, and there's runners on first and second. 2 outs. Pitching coach A.J. Monterez will call time and make his first mound visit at the academy this season. Monterez, a native to Hawthorne, played at Glendale College and then eventually transferred to Cal State Bakersfield. It's his 4th season with the Academy Barons as the pitching coach. Does a lot of stuff throughout the year as well. He chats with Shamir Marshall. And at this point of the season, too, it's still early on. The players are fighting for their roles. So every pitcher we've seen thus far goes about an inning, sometimes 2 innings. And it'll be this way, or it'll be that way for another week. Next week is when we start to see pitchers in their roles, and the starters will go as long as they can. 2 outs. Runners on first and second for Gannon Dwyer. Lefty on lefty matchup. Marshall fires in a first pitch strike. Dwyer is listed as a 2-way player on the roster, a left-handed pitcher and a first baseman. Takes ball 1 high and wide. Tonight he gets the start at first base. Second start on the season for Dwyer. Offers, sends it foul. The count moves to 1-2. He has made 2 appearances on the mound already this summer through 2 innings. He's given up 2 hits, 1 walk, but has yet to allow a run. 1-2 pitch. Dwyer stays alive. Another foul ball into the riverbed. Not a cloud in sight here in the city of Compton. Pretty warm afternoon as we transition to evening. Another 1-2 pitch. Marshall gets him to hit a foul ball down the first base line. Next pitch will be number 25 for Marshall. Got a ground out on the second pitch of the outing. Then struck out Castagnone for the second out. 2 quick outs, but fell into some trouble after he walked Jeremy Jones. Then gave up the RBI single to E.J. Barnes. 1-2 is in the dirt, skips away from Buckley. Both runners advance 90 feet. Marshall back to work on the rubber. 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. The next pitch to Dwyer, misses upstairs. The count is full. First base is open. Josh Tornillo awaits on deck. Payoff pitch. Dwyer puts it on the ground. Another foul ball. That's the 3rd of this at-bat. Next pitch will be the 8th of the at-bat between Shamir Marshall and Gannon Dwyer. Marshall takes a breath. Full count pitch, that's off the plate. Ball 4. 3rd walk of the inning, and the bases are full for the second baseman, Tornillo.
Second baseman number 15, Josh Tornillo.
Top of the first inning. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Tornillo steps in, second baseman for tonight. Marshall goes back to the windup. First pitch on the corner. Perfect spot. And it's strike 1. Tornillo just graduated high school. One of the younger players on the San Diego Bombers roster. Back-to-back strikes. Marshall's in a groove. 0-2 the count. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Tornillo committed to Sacramento State. Home plate umpire calls balk. So as Marshall began his wind-up, home plate umpire Oscar Carrillo explains it to manager James Bishop. Marshall not too happy with the call. The second run of the ball game comes in for the Bombers. The count remains 0-2. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Marshall looking for the last pitch to get him out of the inning. That's the first ball of the at-bat. Davis at third, Dwyer at second. Aaron Mingo, the Long Beach native, awaits on deck. Marshall's 1-2. Right to the second baseman, Emmerman. He leaps and makes the grab for the third out of the inning. But not before 2 more runs come in for the San Diego Bombers. An early 2-0 lead for the visiting team. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. If you're supporting one of the members of the Barons, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification every time we go live from the Compton Youth Academy Showcase Field. For the bottom of the first inning, let's get you the starting lineup for your Academy Barons. In the leadoff spot is right fielder Chip Mertz. Batting second and playing second is Mark Emmerman. Nathaniel Williams bats third and plays third. In the cleanup spot, it's first baseman Jason Del Villar. Nigel Buckley bats fifth and plays catcher. The shortstop Elijah Clayton is in the sixth spot, while Kai Nagashima is the DH and bats seventh. Jackson Tyler bats eighth and plays center field, while John Arnold bats ninth. He's the left fielder for the Barons defensively. That's the order for manager James Bishop in his first year as the head of the program. For the San Diego Bombers, they'll start a right-hander by the name of Tyler Burns, and we'll get to the defense around him first. In the outfield from left to right, Aaron Mingo, Jackson Summers, and Jeremy Jones. Isaac Castagnon at third base, E.J. Barnes at short, Josh Tornillo at second, while Gannon Dwyer gets the start at first. Grayson Wren is the starting catcher. And Tyler Burns, who we just mentioned, the starting pitcher for the San Diego Bombers. It's going to be a redshirt junior. Right-hander stands at 5'11". He's a native to Rancho Santa Margarita in southern Orange County. Burns has made one other appearance. He started the ball game, pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 walk. And that was the only base runner he allowed. Did not pick up a strikeout. Mertz makes his way to the plate. Leadoff hitter tonight for the Academy Barons. In his second season with the Academy, and a player who trained here at the Compton Youth Academy growing up. Native to Anaheim. Awaits the first pitch from Burns. That's on the edge of the zone for strike 1. Next pitch misses high and wide. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to the right fielder. Mertz drives this one into left center field. Mingo gives chase, but it gets into the gap. Extra base hit to start the ball game. Mertz up at second. A leadoff double for the Academy Barons to start the home half of the first.
Give me the plate for the Barons, the second baseman, number 11, Mark Emmerman.
Chance for the two-hitter. Second baseman Mark Emmerman. Another player in the transfer portal. Spent this past season at San Diego State. Made some noise early on in the season. Third start of the year. Drives one well into center field. Summers has to go straight back. Camps underneath. Mertz is going to try for third. Summers throw offline, and Mertz in safely. It's the first out of the inning, but a productive one at that. Emmerman just missed that ball as he hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. One out. A runner 90 feet away as the Barons chase 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Chance for Nathaniel Williams. Talented player from Santa Ana College and just finished his sophomore season. Committed to the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. First pitch from Burns is upstairs. Mertz runs well. Expect him to tag on a ball hit into the outfield. One of the faster players on the roster last year. Williams puts one on the ground on a line to the shortstop Barnes. He spins, makes the throw to first, but scoring on the play is Chip Mertz. An RBI ground out for Nathaniel Williams. That was a rocket off the bat. And E.J. Barnes with a phenomenal play. There's 2 outs.
For the Barons, the clean and number 23, first baseman Jason Delviar.
The bases are clear for Jason Delviar. Had a monster season at Cal State Monterey Bay. Was named first team all conference. First pitch swinging and fouls it back. Delviar has gone off to a hot start to begin this summer as well. 4 hits and 13 at-bats, but 3 of those 4 hits are home runs. He has a home run in all 3 ball games for the Barons this summer. Puts one on the ground for the second baseman, Tornillo. Clean throw, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. But the Barons do get 1 in the home half of the first. They cut the deficit in half. As we head to the top of the second, San Diego Bombers 2, Academy Barons 1. We'll be back with the action after this. Top of the second inning, 8-9-1 hitters due up for the San Diego Bombers. My name is Noah Alvarez. Glad you can join us on this Tuesday evening. Shamir Marshall returns to the mound for the Academy Barons. Aaron Mingo to lead things off. Grayson Wren to follow. And it's back to the top of the order for Jackson Summers. First pitch starts downstairs. Aaron Mingo spent the past 2 seasons at Long Beach City College. Looking for a new home. Bloops one into shallow right field, and it gets down over Emmerman's head. No chance for Mertz in right field. The leadoff single for the San Diego Bombers.
For the Bombers, number 24, catcher Grayson Rain.
We'll see how Marshall bounces back in the top of the second. Gave up 2 runs in the first. 2 runs off 2 hits, or 2 runs off 1 hit, 3 walks. There was also a balk in the inning. The catcher Grayson Wren steps in. Mingo small lead at first. First pitch to Wren, in for strike 1. Wren is a native to Vista, California, which is in the county of San Diego. Punches the next pitch foul out of play. It's an 0-2 hole for the catcher, Wren. He'll be a sophomore this upcoming season at Regis University. A few players on the roster from Regis. One hit in 5 at-bats this summer. Marshall misses high and wide. Mingo at first, Delviar holds. Slight breeze blowing across the diamond, third base to first base side. Foul ball, Wren stays alive. Bombers are off to an 0-3 start to the season. It's their second year as an affiliate to the California Collegiate League, but they also participate in the Western Baseball Association. So it's a very busy summer for a lot of these players and coaches. Mingo takes off, the pitch is in the dirt. Mingo in without a throw. Count even at 2-2, and there's a runner in scoring position. Marshall makes a move back to second. Ammerman doesn't apply a tag. Mingo's a pretty good athlete. Stands at 6'5", listed as an outfielder, but can also pitch. He made 1 pitching appearance this summer already. Next pitch is in, close to the letters, but that's ball 3. That runs the count full. Marshall's payoff pitch, well above the zone. That's ball 4. There's runners on first and second. 4th walk issued. James Bishop calls time. James Bishop is a native to Linwood, California. Was eventually drafted. Played 12 seasons in the minors. Spent a couple seasons overseas. And he came back to coach as a member of the academy. Shamir Marshall's day is done. We have a new pitcher taking over on the mound for the Academy Barons. We'll get you the name, and then we'll cut to a quick break and let you know who or more about the pitcher. In to replace Marshall is a right-hander by the name of Dickie Taw. And when we come back from break, we'll tell you more about the new pitcher.
What player on the Barons would make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welsher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Kanoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer. Jimmy Welsher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jake Klinoski. I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the side.
Nah, I think I'd have to give it to probably one of the youngsters, probably Campo or Chip. I feel like they would make it. Campo he's our catcher. He's been calling games all summer.
Best head coach. Honestly, Jimmy's probably a good pick. He's been in the game, or Klinoski. He's been in the game a while, so that's probably best option.
Easy answer. I choose myself.
Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, Dickie Ta takes over on the mound for Shamir Marshall. There's runners on first and second. Nobody out. Top of the second inning as Nigel Buckley has a quick chat with the new right-hander. Ta stands at 6'1". He just finished his freshman season at Golden West, but he's a native to Los Angeles County, native to Hermosa Beach, and went to Loyola High School before pitching last season with the Golden West Rustlers. First pitch in, splits the uprights. That's strike one. It's back to the top of the order for the San Diego Bombers. They have 2 runs off 2 hits, but there's been 4 walks issued. Breaking ball. Lots of spin, but doesn't find the zone. Count even. So Marshall's done after 1 inning. Threw 41 pitches, 1 strikeout, 4 walks. Gave up 2 hits. Ta misses another breaking ball upstairs. Just a reminder, too, later on in the broadcast, at the top of the 3rd and the top of the 6th, we'll have player interviews as we introduce you to a lot of the newcomers here for the Academy Barons this summer. Ta kicks, deals, next pitch is into the air. Out of play. And the first at bat, Summers hit a grounder to short. Elijah Clayton over there. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ta's next pitch, rope deep into left field. Arnold goes all the way back, and it's over the fence. Ground rule double. Mingo will score. That makes it a 3-1 ball game for the San Diego Bombers. Because it's a ground rule double, Wren at third base. 2 runners in scoring position for the San Diego Bombers. Still nobody out. That run gets credited to Shamir Marshall's line. He's responsible for Wren at third. Ta back from the stretch. First base side of the rubber. Off the plate on the first pitch to Castagnon. Both players played in the Orange Empire Conference last season. Castagnon at Riverside City. Dickie Ta at Golden West College. Castagnon way out in front. 1 ball and 1 strike. When you look at the JUCO landscape, the Orange Empire Conference, considered by many to be the best conference in the entire state of California. Castagnon pulls the next pitch foul. There's a good reason for that. 6 of the last 7 state champions have come from that Orange Empire Conference. Riverside City won it in 2022, well before Castagnon was there. Golden West has yet to win a state championship. 1-2 runs inside, nearly hits Castagnon. It's ball 2 of the at-bat. This spring it was Santa Ana College who took the championship at the 3C 2A level. The year before Mount Sac, but before that it was Saddleback College, then Santa Ana again, Riverside City in 2022, and before 2020 it was Orange Coast College in 2019. Curveball misses outside. Count is full. Ta gets the sign from his catcher. First base is open. Nobody out. Payoff pitch. That's off the plate. Ball 4, easy take for Castagnon. 5th walk by a Barons pitcher. There's runners at every base. Full house for Jeremy Jones.
Number 27, Jeremy Jones.
Chance for the Bombers to blow the door open early and pull out in front. Wren at third base, Summers at second, Castagnon at first. Toss first pitch above the letters, off the plate. And head coach James Bishop calls time again. Some guys get loose in the bullpen for the Academy Barons. Second mound visit, but it's the first for Dickie Taw. Came in a tough situation with the runner at first and second. Gave a ground rule double to Jackson Summers. Breaking ball that caught a lot of the plate. And Summers was a few feet away from putting it over the wall. That's the difference, though. If you're a first-timer here to the California Collegiate League, all the players use wooden bats, while during the spring season they use their aluminum. And a play like that, or a ball hit that hard, could result in a home run for a player like Summers. Instead, it's a ground rule double. It's a grueling schedule, too, in the California Collegiate League. Teams will often play 5, maybe 6 games a week. Every team gets Monday off and every Monday off, but it's a quick sprint to the end of July. About a 7-week season. Teams will play up to 40 games. It's a lot of chance for these players to get some work in. We've told you, too, some of the players in the transfer portal looking for a new home. So it's very important that they produce this summer, and that can largely impact where they end up this upcoming season. After the mound visit between Bishop and Taw, right-hander stays in the game, and he'll face Jeremy Jones. It's a 1-0 count. Taw's next pitch off the plate. Nowhere to put Jones. The bases are full. Bombers lead 3-1. Downstairs, it skips away from Buckley, but he keeps it close. Shaky start for the Barons thus far on this Tuesday evening. They're 1-2 to start the year. Pitching was solid in their first 3 ball games. Came up just short. 2 one-run losses. A 3-0. Jones gets the green light and fouls it off Buckley. Three balls and 1 strike to count to Jones. Taw kicks, deals. Another foul ball off the backstop. Count is full. Nobody out. Would be surprised if the runners are in motion. Jones struck out. Check that. Drew a walk in his last at-bat. The payoff pitch from Taw. Jones skies into the air. Shallow center field. Tyler races in. Camps underneath. Not deep enough for San Diego to try and tag. That's the first down of the inning. An important out for Taw on the Barons defense. Bases remain full, but a double play could get the Barons out of the inning. Chance for E.J. Barnes. Big spot for the shortstop. Taw's first pitch is north of the letters. Barnes hit an RBI single on a full count in the first inning. Drove in the first run of the ball game. Next pitch from Tall also misses the zone high. Barnes played this past season at Southwestern College, but will spend next season at West Texas A&M. Pitch runs inside. He has to churn out of the way. Barnes is in the driver's seat. 4 straight misses. Barnes works a walk and the bases are full. That results in the 4th run of the ball game for the San Diego Bombers. Time is called again. 3rd timeout taken by James Bishop. Summers advances to 3rd, Castagnon to 2nd. Barnes is at 1st. Grayson Wren comes in to score, and we'll have a new pitcher. 3rd pitcher in the ball game already for the Academy Barons. Still plenty of ball game left. No reason to turn the dial yet, folks. Well, we'll get you that upcoming schedule after we get you the new pitcher's name. It's going to be a right-hander by the name of Dalen Carey. I'll tell you a little bit more about Carey. While we have this break in the action, let's get you the upcoming schedule for the Academy Barons. After tonight, they'll host the Philippines baseball group tomorrow evening. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 p.m. Again, if you can't make it to a ball game in person, you can always tune into the live stream here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. They'll have Thursday off. On Friday, they travel to Pasadena to take on the Arroyo Seco Saints. On Saturday, they'll travel to Santa Barbara to take on the Foresters. First time traveling up north. And then on Sunday, they're back home to take on the Orange County Riptide. It's the first meeting between those two programs this summer. The Riptide come to town. First pitch is scheduled at 1:05 Sunday afternoon. We'll go live at about 12:55. Should be a fun week of action. The first full week as the California Collegiate League started this past Friday. The Barons picked up a 5-1 victory over the Philippines baseball group, then lost to the Arroyo Seco Saints 6-5, fell to the Conejo Oaks 5-4. And both those games they had leads late. And in the Saints game, they were tied late heading into the top of the 9th before they gave up a run to the Saints, which allowed them to come out on top. So the new pitcher is Dalen Carey. He's a native to Long Beach and went to Long Beach Poly High School. Spent this past year at Westmont College, another team that belongs to the Pac-West Conference. Shamir Marshall, the starter, pitched at Vanguard this past season, and that's a team that also participates in the Pac-West Conference, along the likes of Concordia, Azusa Pacific, Biola, just to name a few others. A few of the Hawaii schools as well. We'll see if Carey can get out of the jam. First pitch north of the zone to Royce Davis. Carey goes from the windup. Sound like a broken bat. Blooper into shallow center field. Clayton ranges over. An important second out of the inning. Davis is retired. Barons are 1 out away from getting out of the jam. Only 2 runs have come across for the San Diego Bombers. Still only have 3 hits in the ball game, 2 of which came in this inning. Carey goes back from the windup. First pitch doesn't graze the edge. It's ball 1. Dwyer drew a walk in his first at-bat. Slaps one into left field. Foul territory. Barehand play made by one of the Barons pitchers in the bullpen. Another ball hit into that direction, a little further out of play. It's quickly a 2-strike count on Dwyer. Home plate umpire Oscar Carrillo asked for more baseballs. Base is full. The next pitch from Carey. Foul ball straight back. Dwyer stays alive. A couple players in this lineup for the San Diego Bombers have pitched and taken at-bats. Dwyer's one of the 2. We saw Aaron Mingo to lead off the inning. Both Dwyer and Mingo listed as two-way players for the Bombers this summer. Carey delivers one in the dirt. Buckley stops it. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right up the middle, and it gets past Emmerman into center field. 1 run comes in to score. Tyler's throw goes to third. Throws off the line. It's a 2 RBI single for Gannon Dwyer. Puts the Bombers back and extends their lead 6-1 here in the top of the second.
Number 15, Josh Tornillo.
Josh Tornillo, 9th batter, come up to the plate for the San Diego Bombers. Buckley gives the signs. 1st and 3rd situation for the Barons defense. Del Villar holds the runner at first. High chopper to Emmerman at second. Over to his left. Easy play over to first, and that's the 3rd out, but not before 4 more runs come across for the San Diego Bombers. They lead 6-1. When we come back, we'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Nigel Buckley, Elijah Clayton, and Kai Nagashima when we come back. Bottom of the second inning, and the Academy Barons are chasing 5 runs. They don't have to get it all back at once. Still plenty of ball game left in this one. Nigel Buckley to lead things off. Elijah Clayton and Kai Nagashima to follow. Buckley smokes the first pitch deep into left field. Mingo back at the track, and that's a solo shot. Bottom of the second inning, Buckley makes it a 6-2 ball game. The Barons cut the deficit to 4. Buckley had a monster season for Cal State Dominguez Hills this past spring. Double-digit home runs. A lot of extra base hits. He's hit for a lot more power in his sophomore season, and he continues that trend with his first home run of the summer. Next pitch, driven out towards center field. Pretty routine for Jackson Summers as he few steps over to his right. Here on the broadcast, we're joined by one of the Barons pitchers, left-hander by the name of Jack Fishel. Thanks for making the time.
Yes, sir.
Kai Nagashima.
So if you can share your journey and how you started here for the Academy Barons and got here this summer.
So I played at Santa Ana last year, and we played at Compton College, and we played here. And I talked to Coach Bishop. He saw me throw and asked me if I wanted to come play for the summer, and I was like, sure, of course. Really cool place, good coaches, and yeah, I'm just trying to find a school for next year.
So coming out of high school, I noticed you went to a 4-year program before you bounced back to Santa Ana College. What was that experience like at Lindenwood, and what did you gain from that?
It was definitely interesting. I didn't get the opportunity that I wanted to get, but it was definitely a learning experience being at the D1 level and being around the guys and being at the games, stuff like that, and bring that to my next school, which was Santa Ana, and obviously it worked. Had a way better year and ended up winning the state championship, which was an awesome experience.
So 1-2 count to Kai Nagashima, the designated hitter. 1 out in the bottom of the second. I've heard a lot of pitchers from Santa Ana College talk about George Carlejo, but in your opinion, what were some things that you learned from him during your time this spring?
Really just, keeping it simple and not thinking about it, and just kind of, having fun and going out there and doing what I know how to do. And towards the end of the season, it really started to work out for me.
2 outs in the inning as the shortstop E.J. Barnes makes a nice charging play. Nagashima's retired, and that'll bring up Jackson Tyler. Barons trail 6-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. So, of course, Santa Ana goes on that historic run. They capture their 5th championship in program history. What was it like to be a part of a team like that that not only could score so well at any time, but their pitching staff felt like it came through time and time again?
As a pitcher, it's nice to have a team that scores a bunch of runs and, save our guys. But, going out there when you're up by, 5+ runs every game, it makes it a lot easier and takes some of that stress off. And then, just, being a part of like a state championship team is something, you'll remember forever. Being so close with all the guys and, still being close with them, like playing against them even here. Like, a bunch of guys are playing on other teams. And there's a couple guys on the Barons that played with Santa Ana as well.
I noticed, too, there was a lot of El Dorado guys on the Santa Ana roster that year. Was that planned, or was that something that just kind of happened by accident?
No, so it kind of happened by accident. So me, Austin Kirkwood, and A.J. Frosto, and Lucas Raya all played in high school on the same team together, and then all went to separate places, and then, funny enough, we all ended up back together, which was pretty cool to be a part of, too.
So after the solo home run by Nigel Buckley, 3 straight outs, retired by Tyler Burns. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Barons trail 6-2. We're joined in the broadcast booth by pitcher Jack Fishel, a member of the Santa Ana College Dons. Have they talked about what kind of rings you guys are going to get yet, or is that something further down the line?
We had a meeting at the field last week about, ring sizing and stuff, but our Tom is going to keep it a secret from us and not let us see it until we go back, and I think we have our ring ceremony in December or something like that. So I'm excited to see it.
Might be hard to pick one, but was there any couple moments that really stood out to you in that postseason, whether you were on the mound or you just watching from the dugout?
Definitely. So I threw against Feather River in an elimination game, and I think it's an awesome experience to just get a throw in any game in that the Final Four or state championship. But that was definitely big, and then obviously Andrew Phillips, who's my catch partner as well. But seeing him go out there and start and do well, and then come back and finish the game to win it all, that's something I'll never forget for sure.
Okay. So let's take it back to the beginning. How did you even get into the sport of baseball, if you can call back to your youngest days?
So my dad played in the minor leagues. He played at Cal State Fullerton and then got drafted by the Mariners. So I've always kind of been around baseball. And, at first I was a first baseman and then kind of got into pitching. And then from a young age, probably 10 years old, I've just loved pitching and loved baseball and always been around it.
So naturally, as a left-hander, you were kind of put into first base and pitcher then, right?
Yeah, I can't really play anywhere else, so yeah.
Okay, right on. Do you have a favorite memory from your childhood growing up in Little League or that type of deal?
To be honest, I didn't really play a lot of travel ball growing up and stuff like that. I was kind of just big on, I train at Chapman Baseball Compound in Irvine, so I was super big on just, doing my training and stuff like that. Kind of not really worried about playing as much, kind of building the engine a little bit kind of thing. and it's obviously worked out for me, which is good. So.
First pitch runs inside to Mingo. He's rewarded first base. Hit by pitch to start off the top of the third inning. San Diego Bombers lead 6-2. We're joined by pitcher Jack Fishel, a member of the Academy Barons in his first summer. Have you played Summer League before, and what have your previous experiences been like?
No, so last year I was supposed to play out in Missouri where my school was, and then I didn't do that just because I wanted to come back and train and, kind of got back what I lost from the season. Kind of velo was a little down and body wasn't feeling the greatest, so kind of went back and trained hard and got back to where I was before I went to school. So, this is my first experience being in summer ball, and so far I think it's awesome.
What was that training resume like? You mentioned the velo down. How were you able to get that back up?
So it was kind of just like I had a program that I followed with bullpens and pulling down and just following a program that, was given to me by my facility. And, I give it all to them. They, really helped me get back to where I was.
In your opinion, what's the biggest jump between the high school level and the collegiate level?
I'll definitely say my first outing that I had in Missouri last year, we were in Louisiana, and I gave up a home run to a Texas Tech transfer. Mm-hmm. And that was my welcome to college baseball, that, you can't just throw pitches down the middle anymore and get guys out, you know. So definitely, I've learned that you got to, learn how to actually become a pitcher and not just, go out there and throw.
If you go to this Academy Barons roster, too, there's multiple guys from other Orange Empire Conference schools. Do you Santa Ana guys sometimes, just have some friendly banter with them and those guys from the OEC teams?
Yeah, so it's cool. I know that one of our catchers played at Golden West, and there's a couple other pitchers from some schools, and we always talk shit. Or, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. But, we always talk to each other and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's fun. We're all buddies and stuff like that. So it's cool to, be teammates with them after, going against them all year.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to the 9-hitter Grayson Wren. Mingo still at first base. Nobody out in the top of the third inning. What can you share about your journey to find a new home this upcoming season?
Just, going out there, pitching for the Barons. I'm starting this Sunday, so, just going out there and competing and throwing strikes and showing what I could do. I know we get a good crowd of coaches, and from all around, California and maybe around other states, but, just going out and throwing strikes and showing what I could do. I think that's the most important thing. Even if, I kind of struggle, it's not the end of the world. Just kind of show, what I am and how I could bounce back and stuff like that.
Mingo took off on the pitch. He's ended up at second after Elijah Clayton makes a nice play. 1 out in the inning. So I noticed pitchers, too, they have a lot of different mental approaches. When you get into a tough situation, whether that you started or that you come into from the bullpen, what's something that you tell yourself in your mind to help ease yourself?
Really just to, limit the damage, If I can, bases loaded, nobody out. I know I got into that situation a lot last year. And, if I could just go out there and pitch to outs and, give up 1 or 2 runs in a bases loaded situation, that's a positive thing. So really just, go out and trust my stuff and just limit the damage.
2-0 the count to the leadoff hitter Jackson Summers. Mingo at second base, 1 out in the inning. When you were growing up, did you have a player that you look up to in the MLB?
I'd say probably Clayton Kershaw, just because he's a lefty and being a Dodger fan. But, I really like some of the, players today. Obviously at my facility, Paul Skeens is trained there. Then Vince Velasquez, who played for the Barons back in the day. Being around some of those pro guys, it's cool to get some of the knowledge that they know and pick their mind and stuff like that. So that's definitely cool.
What's the greatest piece of advice you've gotten from either a player or a coach in this journey?
I'd really say from Vince Velasquez, I talked to him a bunch and we're pretty close, but always just told me, just go out and have fun. It's not the end of the world. If say you go out and don't have a good day, you're going to have another day. It's, it's not life or death. Go out there and have fun and do what you know how to do and do what you love to do, that kind of thing. And I've always, lived by that. It's just if you don't have the best day, so what, kind of just go on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. I've often heard the worst day playing baseball is still better than another day playing or without playing baseball,
yeah,
right?
For sure, for sure.
It's a 1-0 count to Isaac Castagnon. 2 outs in the inning. Mingo still at second base. A couple more questions for Jack Fishel as he's on the air with us. Do you have a favorite thing to snack on in the dugout or in the bullpen?
Not really a snack guy, to be honest.
Okay.
I kind of just, chill out and talk to my teammates and watch the game. And, last year at Santa Ana, I'd always try to, be engaged and just in case I get in the game and be ready to go. Face hitters, try not to get, distracted and kind of just see how I would dissect and throw to hitters and stuff like that.
What's your go-to pregame meal?
Probably say Chipotle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite baseball movie of all time?
I'd say $1 Million Arm.
Okay.
It's about these two kids that were from India that played cricket, and they went to USC, and they ended up pitching in the big leagues. So.
Recent movie or?
It's an older movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
2-2 count to Isaac Castagnon. Now, this is a question, too. I've noticed whether it's with Santa Ana College or other teams, pitchers often throw a football in the bullpen. Is there any reason to that, or is that just to buy time?
With a football, I've heard, I personally don't, but I've heard it's kind of helps with some of your shoulder stuff and warming up your shoulder, but, I personally don't, so I don't really know.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people do use the football to, warm up, but I think it's just another way to throw, kind of, with less stress than a baseball.
Gotcha.
Because, you can't throw it as hard and not as far, so.
The 2-2 pitch from Carey runs inside. It's a full count. Right fielder Jeremy Jones is on deck. 2 outs in the inning. Barons trail by 4. Do you ever see yourself coaching in the future?
Yeah, I have experience. I did at my facility that I train at, I coach the youth guys. So I've kind of got an understanding of mechanics and pitching stuff like that, but definitely for sure in the future if baseball doesn't work out for me, I think it would be cool to get into coaching for sure, be a pitching coach or something like that.
Castagnon draws a walk, bases or runners on first and second base. 2 outs in the inning, a chance for Jeremy Jones to hit. He flew out to center field in his last at-bat. Carey's first pitch is in the dirt. You mentioned that the first program that you went to was in Missouri. Was that a big culture shock for you to move out there as a California kid?
Yeah, for sure. So I've obviously been in California my whole life growing up, and going to the middle of nowhere in Missouri, middle of the country, it was definitely interesting. I used to live by the beach, so going from the beach to kind of just the middle of nowhere, it was definitely a culture shock. And the snow, I've never seen it snow before, and when we're out there, we're playing in the snow, and it's 3 degrees, and they're out there pitching, and doesn't get below 50 here, so it was definitely a big learning experience and culture shock for sure.
Did you have to deal with any tornado warnings over there too in Missouri?
It's pretty funny. There's a couple games where we'd have to go run up into our basement of our clubhouse because it was a rule that you can't be out during a tornado warning or when it's a certain distance away. So it was definitely funny. The first time I heard the sirens going off, I was a little confused.
It's a 1-0 count to E.J. Barnes. Jeremy Jones was hit by a pitch. The bases are full for the San Diego Bombers. Second time in the ball game that they've had the bases full. Dalen Carey goes from the windup. Next pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Was there any other California kids on that roster when you were out there?
Yes, we had another pitcher that was from the San Francisco area. Went to West Valley, another JUCO up in up north.
Okay.
And then I think we had one other that was outfielder that was from San Diego. That was one of our he was I think our starting left fielder. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We also had a kid from Poland, which was pretty cool too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool cultural moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. That. He was an interesting kid, but he was cool.
3-0 count, and after the wild pitch, another run comes in to score. The Bombers lead 7-2. You had your first outing of the summer this past Sunday. Can you take me through that and what you experienced?
Yeah, so I went second and went 2 innings. I gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and that was kind of my biggest thing this summer. I'm focusing on is just limiting the walks and stuff like that. So that was big, and I threw 20 pitches and 15 out of 20 strikes, so that was a big positive for me. Now I got to earn to start on this Sunday, so hopefully just keep rolling.
Is there a different way you prepare coming into the game, knowing you're going to be a starter versus out of the bullpen?
Yeah, for sure. So like usually with out of the bullpen, I'll kind of throw before the game and throw a little bit off the mound, and then kind of just stay moving during the game. Compared to starting, like I'll have a full maybe hour and a half, 2 hour routine before, and then kind of just try to go out there and do as best I can. I feel like it's definitely a different mindset for bullpen and starting. With a bullpen, if you're 1 to 2 innings, you could kind of have that mentality of just like you're going for 1 or 2 innings. Compared to starting, you have to control your emotions a little bit and be ready to go 4 or 5 plus.
Brief mound visit with pitching coach A.J. Monterez. E.J. Barnes is at first after the walk. Chance for the designated hitter Royce Davis. Academy Barons are still 1 out away from getting out of the jam in the top of the 3rd inning. Carey's first pitch on the inner half for strike 1. Davis is 0 for 1. He popped up to the shortstop in his last at-bat. Drew a walk in his first. We're here with pitcher Jack Fishel, one of the newer faces for the Academy Barons this summer. And that's over for strike 2. What's a piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
I would say just to not let bad outings or bad days really affect me. I know that's something I used to deal with. I'd kind of get upset or be down on myself or too hard on myself after a rough outing, and it's I really just need to not let the small things affect me and kind of just go out there and do what I know how to do.
It's a big base hit for the San Diego Bombers. A bases clearing double for Royce Davis. 3 runs come across, and it's now a 10-2 ball game. One more question for you, Jack, before I let you go. If you weren't doing baseball, what else were you doing? What are some other hobbies that you have?
I'll be honest, I'm a big baseball guy. I mean, I treat it as my job, besides doing school, but every day I'm at my facility training or throwing or whatever it may be. I'm always baseball, and it's my biggest goal is get drafted and make it to the next level, and obviously go play college next year at a D1, D2, wherever it may be. And I'm just treating it like it's my job, and that's my everyday life for sure.
Well, we appreciate you making the time to come out here. Thank you for,
sure.
your answers and everything, and best of luck this summer.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Gannon Dwyer hits a fly ball to left field to end the inning, but not before 4 more runs come in for the San Diego Bombers, and they lead 10-2 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Bottom of the 3rd when we come back. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, the San Diego Bombers have a 10-2 lead. Their team is 0-3 to begin the summer season. Academy Barons are 1-2. It's only the bottom of the third inning. Still plenty of ball game left. And before we continue, I want to say thank you to Jack Fishel, who spent the bottom of the second and top of the third with us here on the broadcast. That's something that we'll incorporate throughout the summer, interview different players on their days off so you can get to know them, especially a lot of the new faces. That's something we did a lot last year and had the chance to chat with Jason Del Villar, Isaac Ocampo, Chip Mertz, and a few others. New pitcher on the mound for the San Diego Bombers. It's Riley Plummer who takes over. He gets a first pitch check swing for strike one to John Arnold. Arnold gets his first start of the summer season. Can't connect on the fastball. Down the count 0-2. Arnold's a native to Long Beach and went to St. Anthony High School. Puts this on the ground. Diving attempt by the third baseman, but it sneaks on through. Good hustle by Isaac Castagnon. It's a leadoff base knock. That's what you need. You need base runners at this point if you're the Academy Barons. First hit of the summer for John Arnold, and has to feel good. He spent this past spring not a whole lot of playing time at UMass Boston, a Division III school on the East Coast. Played in 9 ball games, went 4 for 8 at the plate. Turns it over to the top of the order. Chip Mertz stands in. Last year when we had Mertz on for an interview, got the origins of his nickname Chip. His real first name is Ethan. The next pitch is upstairs from Plummer. Arnold at first base. Gannon Dwyer holds the runner at first. Middle infield and double play depth. That's at the knees, a delayed strike call. 2 on the count. Barons picked up 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Mertz lifts one into shallow right center field. Summers to his left, calls off his right fielder, and that's the first out of the inning. Arnold retreats back to first. The right fielder's retired. A chance for Mark Emmerman, and made strong contact in his first at-bat of the ball game. Drove one into deep center field that forced Summers to go back towards the track. Emmerman, another player in the transfer portal. Arnold takes off on the first pitch. Throw is high towards the second base side. The ball pops out of the glove of Tornillo. Stolen base for Arnold. First of the summer. The Barons were aggressive in the first ball game against the Philippines baseball group. They stole 5 bases as a team. A runner in scoring position, 1 out. Emmerman with the 1-0 count. Skies the next pitch. Shallow left field, the long run. E.J. Barnes can't make the grab. Arnold goes to third, and he avoids the tag. Castagnon had the ball, but Arnold with the clever slide avoided the tag somehow. Great hustle and great awareness by Mingo, the left fielder, to come pick up the ball after E.J. Barnes couldn't make the catch. Runners at the corners, 1 out for one of the better hitters here in the Barons lineup. Nathaniel Williams steps in. Of course, Jack Fishel, Nathaniel Williams, Travis Bergman, a few others. Carlos Morales, who we saw on Saturday, all members of Santa Ana College, who won the 3C2A state championship just a couple of weeks ago. Emmerman takes off on the first pitch, a foul ball, and Emmerman has to retreat. Good size lead at first base for Emmerman. Plummer's next pitch off the plate. Williams is a good example, too, of how summer ball translates to the spring season. Last summer, he hit 4 home runs in his time with the Barons after not hitting any home runs his freshman season. Next pitch off the plate. He's in the driver's seat, 2-1. And so after hitting the 4 home runs in the summer, he went on to hit 9 home runs, which was second most on the Santa Ana College team. Again, that was after hitting no home runs at all in his freshman season. Ball hit on the ground to the third baseman. Castañon makes a quick throw. It pulls Dwyer off the bag. Bases are full for the Academy Barons here in the home half of the third. They trail by 8. Infield single for Nathaniel Williams. Chance for Jason Del Villar. This is the guy you want to have up if you're the Academy Barons. 3 home runs in 3 ball games thus far. Grounded out to second in his first at-bat. Very capable hitter, though. 66 RBIs for Cal State Monterey Bay this past spring. Ooh. Breaking ball looked in a good spot, but it's ball 1. Home plate umpire Carrillo tells the pitcher Plummer to step off the mound. Didn't hear exactly what he said. It's a 1-0 count. Del Villar sends one foul. One out, bases full. Arnold at third, Emmerman at second, Williams at first. Good speed all around for the Barons. Corners in for the Bombers defense. Del Villar skies it into the air, foul territory. A chance for Dwyer. Camps underneath, and that's the second out of the inning. Huge out for the Bombers defense.
Number 16, Nigel Buckley.
Another veteran for the Barons comes to the plate. Chance for Nigel Buckley. He hit the solo home run in the bottom of the second. Muscles this one into deep right field. Jones back at the track, makes the catch a few steps away from the wall, and that's the third out of the inning. The Barons load the bases, but can't cash any runner in. They trail 10-2 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. We'll cut to another commercial break. Be back with the top of the 4th after this. Top of the fourth inning, Josh Tornillo to lead things off for the San Diego Bombers. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Academy Barons. Left-hander by the name of Daniel Rivera. Rivera was very strong in his first appearance of the summer season. Pitched 2 innings against the Philippines baseball group. Struck out 4 batters, only allowed 1 base runner on a hit. Fourth pitcher used by the Barons coaching staff this evening. Falls behind Tornillo, 2-0 the count. Bombers lead 10-2. They have 10 runs, only on 5 hits. Tornillo chases a ball in the dirt. A lot of walks have been issued by the Barons pitching staff today. A few hit batters as well. Tornillo's 0 for 2. A line out to second and a ground out to second. That's at the knees, perfectly placed. Two balls and 2 strikes to the second baseman. Foul ball over the backstop. Rivera goes from the windup. Breaking ball right on the edge. It falls out of Buckley's glove. Throw to first in time. A strikeout. Score that 2-3 on the putout for the first out of the inning. It's 4th or 5th strikeout of the season for Daniel Rivera, as he makes his 2nd appearance for the Academy Barons. Again, this week too, we'll see the Barons pitchers go an inning or 2 as we still get acclimated. And then starting next week, we'll see pitching coach A.J. Monterez name his starting pitchers and put guys into specific roles going forward. Next pitch to Mingo is off the plate. Mingo picked up a single in the 2nd inning. Hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Came around to score both times. Big hack, and he comes up empty. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rivera this past season also pitched at Vanguard along with starter Shamir Marshall. Vanguard, a Division II school. Mingo spent time at Long Beach City College the last 2 seasons. Rivera made 11 appearances, picked up 14 strikeouts in 25 innings. He's been sharp thus far in the summer. Breaking ball finds the zone for strike 2. Native to Yucaipa and went to Arrowhead. Went to high school in Arrowhead. Breaking ball in a good spot. Mingo lays off, and very fortunate that's ball 3. The southpaw's payoff pitch. Further below the knees, and that's ball 4. Runner on first for the San Diego Bombers. They're looking for their first win on the 2026 campaign. Last year they took 3 of 5 games against the Academy Barons. The Barons took the first meeting between the two. It was a walk-off victory on opening night. Chance for the catcher, Grayson Wren. He watches strike 1. On the evening, the Barons pitchers have combined for 9 walks. 9 walks to 3 strikeouts. We're at the top of the 4th inning. It's a big reason why the Bombers are up 10-2. On the ground, up the middle. Emmerman gives it all he has, can't get to it. Jackson gets to it quickly, keeps Mingo at second, and there's 2 runners on for the Bombers offense. Only the 6th hit of the contest. The Bombers picked up 1 hit in the first inning. They had 2 in the second inning. In the third inning, they only had 1. Back to the top of the order for Summers. Move back to second. Mingo beats the tag by Emmerman. Summers is 1 for 3 on the evening. A strikeout in his last at-bat. That's at the letters, strike 1. Slaps the next pitch foul. 0-2 hole for the center fielder. Summers came through with an RBI double in the second inning. He was the first batter that the reliever Dickie Taw faced. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Home plate umpire Oscar Carrillo asked to reset the scoreboard. Next pitch, below the knees. The count is 1-2. Top of the 4th inning. Mingo at second, Wren at first. Mingo has great speed at second. That's off the plate. Isaac Castagnone, a left-handed hitter, awaits on deck. Into the air, potentially in play, deep right field. Mertz gives chase, and it drifts out of play into the bullpen. Count remains 2-2. Double play could get the Barons out of the inning. They turned 2 double plays in their victory over the Philippines Baseball Group Friday. 1 double play in the loss to the Arroyo Seco Saints. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove, and Buckley hangs on. Rivera gets his second strikeout. Second out of the inning. Lefty on lefty matchup as Castagnone, the third baseman, makes his way to the plate. He just finished his freshman season. Expect him to see for the RCC Tigers next year. First pitch downstairs. Castagnone has worked back-to-back walks in his last 2 at-bats. Struck out looking in his first. 0 for 1. On the ground, on the right side, Emmerman comes to a slide on the knee. Throws over to first. Smooth play by the second baseman. Third out of the inning. And the Barons keep 2 runners on the base paths to end the inning, more importantly. They trail 10-2, and when we come back in the bottom of the 4th, we'll see Elijah Clayton lead things off for the Academy after this.
Elijah Clayton.
Back here at the Academy, the Compton Youth Academy here in the city of Compton. Barons trail 10-2 in the home half of the 4th inning. Elijah Clayton to lead things off, followed by Kai Nagashima and Jackson Tyler. The 3 batters due up in this half of the inning. Tuesday, June 9th, 4th game of the season for both these teams. First pitch strike from Riley Plummer. Back to work quickly, and he misses. Clayton flew out to center field in his first at-bat. The son of former big leaguer Royce Clayton, who spent 17 years at the major level. 2 balls and 1 strike to Elijah. Fouls the next pitch straight back. The count is even at 2-2. Clayton spent this past season at Campbell University. It's on the other side of the country in Carolina. Pulls the next pitch foul. He spent his freshman season at the collegiate level at UC Berkeley. Appeared in 21 games for the Golden Bears. Full count to Clayton. He stays alive, yanks another pitch foul. Count remains full. Clayton has 2 hits on the summer season. Makes his 3rd start of the year. Plummer's next pitch. Runs inside, and Clayton finds himself aboard via the base on balls.
For the Barons, number 12, Kai Nagashima.
San Diego Bombers pitching staff has been very sharp. They haven't allowed a walk until that point. That's the first walk issued by a Bombers pitcher. Barons have 2 runs off 5 hits. Bombers have 6 hits. There's a large deficit in the run column. Clayton takes off on the first pitch. It's a called strike. Ball in the dirt. Tag not in time. Second stolen base on the evening for the Academy Barons, and the first of the night for Elijah Clayton. He's in scoring position. Gets off to a big secondary. Nagashima pops it into the air. Shallow center field. Barnes drifts back and makes the catch. Loses his hat in the process, but it's the first out of the inning. The designated hitter is retired.
Jackson Tyler.
Chance for Jackson Tyler. Tyler, a native to Simi Valley. And like Emmerman, also spent last season, or last spring, with San Diego State. Both players are in the transfer portal looking for new homes. Tyler grounded out to second in his first at-bat. Clayton takes off for third. No throw. That's a stolen base. His second on the evening. A runner 90 feet away, and it was the first pitch strike to Tyler. Tyler, checks his swing. That's ruled strike 2. Tough call. Plummer's next pitch off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyler did not appear in any games last season for the San Diego State Aztecs. He had 364 his senior year while at Chaminade. Tyler checks his swing, peel down to first. No go on the swing, ball 2. Sun begins to set here in the city of Compton. The 2-2 pitch from Plummer, that runs in. And plunks Tyler. He's fired up. There's runners at the corners. The Barons stranded, the bases loaded in the bottom of the third inning. If they hope to claw back into this one, they can't continue to leave runners in scoring position. Chance for John Arnold to hit. He was the first batter to face Riley Plummer when he came out of the bullpen. Picked up a single. Was stranded at third base to end the inning. Plummer's at 34 pitches. First pitch foul ball. Wren takes off the mask and makes the grab. Clayton tries for home plate. He slides and gets to the bag first. Wren tried to apply the tag. Both players laid out. Jackson advances to second. What a heads-up play by Clayton. Oh, my goodness.
Number 4, Jack Fishel.
A sacrifice fly to the catcher in foul territory. But Clayton saw that no one was covering home plate. Plummer caught sleeping on the mound. There's 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, and the Barons trail 10-3. That goes down as an RBI for John Arnold. Chip Mertz sends a pitch foul into the catcher's glove. It's great play and great hustle by both players. Kind of hold your breath on a play like that. Wren was diving head first with the glove in his hand. Clayton came on a feet-first slide. You just hoped that both players were going to be okay after a collision. It's an 0-2 count to Mertz. He flew out to center field in his last at-bat. 1 for 2 on the day. A double in the first inning. That's strike 3. Mertz doesn't agree with the call. But the Barons do get 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. They cut the deficit to 7. It's a 10-3 ball game. Top of the 5th inning when we come back. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball. Top of the 5th inning. Bombers lead 10-3 over the Academy Barons, and get you some scores from around the California Collegiate League as well during the next break in the action. My name is Noah Alvarez. Glad you could join us on this Tuesday evening. Daniel Rivera returns to the mound, fires a first pitch strike. Ran into some trouble, gave up a single and then a walk. There was runners on first and second in the 4th inning. He retired the next 2 batters. He's at 25 pitches after that foul ball by Jones. Jones is 0 for 1 on the day. Hit by a pitch and then drew a walk in the first inning. Earlier today, the Santa Barbara Foresters defeated the Conejo Oaks 8-4 on the road. The Oaks are the reigning CCL champion. Rivera's next pitch. Jones check swing. No swing. That's ball 1. Going down in Pasadena, the Arroyo Seco Saints and Orange County Riptide are tied at 4 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jones holds up on another appeal down to third. That's another ball. Those are the only 2 other games going down in Southern California. Walnut Creek Crawdads defeated San Francisco Seagulls 17-1 in Northern California. And Rivera puts one on the paint, strike 3, first down of the inning. 3rd strikeout of the outing for Rivera. He's shaping out to be one of the better arms that the Barons have this summer, at least through 2 appearances thus far. E.J. Barnes steps to the plate. RBI single in the first, drew walks in the 3rd and in the 2nd inning. The lights are on here at the Academy. First pitch, zips in. Oh, that's a good spot, but it's ball 1. We'll reset the defense for you in this half of the inning as well. Top of the 5th. Nigel Buckley behind the plate. Jason Del Villar at first. Mark Emmerman at second. Next pitch is high and wide. Elijah Clayton at short. Nathaniel Williams at third. In the outfield, Chip Mertz in right. Jackson Tyler in center. And John Arnold gets his first start of the summer in left. That one finds the zone. Rivera works from behind. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Barons led by first-year manager James Bishop. Familiar face. He spent 17 years as an assistant coach for the Academy Barons. Barnes swings over the top. Rivera back to the windup. His 2-2 pitch. Barnes lifts it into the air. Won't leave the infield. Emmerman calls off Clayton. The second baseman records the second out. 2 up, 2 down. The Barons are hoping for a smooth half of the inning. They haven't had much of that in tonight's ball game. Bombers sent 7 players to the plate in the first inning. They sent 9 to the plate in the second, 8 to the third, and 5 in the fourth. So it's been a heavy workload for the Academy Barons this evening. First pitch strike to the 5-hitter Royce Davis. That's down and in. Ball 1. Rivera, the 4th pitcher of the ball game for the Academy Barons. Swing and a miss. Davis can't connect. That's strike 2. Rivera hopes for a 1-2-3 inning. Leading things off for the Barons in the home half of the 5th is Mark Emmerman. We have 2, 3, 4 hitters. Rivera's next pitch downstairs. Davis hit the bases clearing double in the 3rd inning. That was his last at-bat. Off the plate for ball 3. The count is full. Gannon Dwyer is in the on-deck circle for the Bombers. Davis arguably with the biggest hit of the ball game for San Diego. At that point, it was a 7-2 ball game. He made it 10-2. Puts one on the ground for Elijah Clayton. Goes with the backhand, and he didn't grab it cleanly. It squirts out his glove. There's a runner at first. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, so it's ruled an infield single. Only the 7th hit of the ball game. San Diego Bombers have 10 runs off 7 hits. The Barons have played clean defense. There hasn't been any errors. But the walks and hit batters have killed the Barons pitching staff. Rivera goes from the stretch. 2 outs. Davis at first. First pitch to Dwyer. Skies it into the air. Buckley takes off the mask, and it's out of play. Dwyer flew out to left field to end the 3rd inning in his last at-bat. Picked up a 2 RBI single in the 2nd. Behind on the fastball. He's down in the count 0-2. Dwyer walked in the 1st inning. He's been on base twice today. The 0-2 from Rivera. Puts it out of the zone. Count is 1-2. Small lead at first by Davis. Rivera kicks, deals. Ball in the dirt, swung and miss. Dwyer chased one in the dirt, throw to first in time, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Strong job by Daniel Rivera, and what could be his last out that he records in today's outing. Picks up 4 strikeouts, and he strands the runner at first, and more importantly, he keeps the San Diego Bombers offense off the scoreboard. They still lead 10-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Mark Emmerman to lead things off when we come back. Bottom of the 5th inning. Let's reset the defense for you as well for the San Diego Bombers. In the outfield from right to left, Jeremy Jones, Jackson Summers, and Aaron Mingo. Isaac Castagnone plays the hot corner. E.J. Barnes at short. At second, it's Josh Tornillo, and Gannon Dwyer gets the start at first base. Grayson Wren gets the start behind the dish. First start in the season for both E.J. Barnes and Royce Davis, the designated hitter. Riley Plummer stays on the mound for the San Diego Bombers. First pitch to Emmerman is downstairs. The Bombers picked up 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second, 4 in the third. They lead 10-3, 10 runs off 7 hits. Next pitch on the ground for Castagnone. Unable to make the pick is Dwyer. There's a runner aboard. error on Isaac Castagnon to start off the inning. The Barons have another leadoff base runner. They pushed across the leadoff base runner in the fourth. Couldn't cash in the third. Emmerman started to go, quickly back to first base. Williams takes ball one. Williams hit a single in the third inning. Drives one in foul territory. Castagnon at the padding and runs out of real estate. Williams, a switch hitter. Hit from the right side 3 different times in the Saturday game against the Saints. He's primarily played the infield in both summers with the Academy Barons, but while at Santa Ana College, he played in the outfield. Forced to be a left fielder because of all the talent at Santa Ana College. And across the diamond. 2 balls and 1 strike. There was a couple plays that Williams made in the outfield that were really strong too, especially towards the end of the season. You saw him get more comfortable reading balls in the corner outfield. That one misses upstairs. It's a 3-ball, 1 strike count to the third baseman, Williams. Emmerman's at first. Jason Del Villar is on deck. Williams takes a big hack. Sends it foul. It's a full count. The payoff pitch from Plummer. That's off the plate, ball 4. Easy take for Williams. Second walk of the evening for Riley Plummer. Runners on first and second. Another golden opportunity for the Barons to get some runs across. They scored 5 runs in their first game of the season, 5 in the second, and only 4 in the third. As a team, they entered today with a .218 batting average. First pitch to Del Villar is in the dirt. No one throwing in the San Diego Bombers bullpen, but there are players getting loose. There is some activity. Nigel Buckley is on deck. Dangerous part of the order for the Barons. The 1-0 to Del Villar. Rips one down the line. Foul. Great contact. Del Villar, native to Corona, went to Corona Centennial High School before playing 2 seasons at San Bernardino Valley College. They spent 1 season at Sonoma State before they canceled all their athletic programs. The pitch misses downstairs. Picked up a medical red shirt that year at Sonoma State. Still has another year of eligibility with Cal State Monterey Bay this upcoming year. Well-traveled player. Down and away for ball 3. Competitive miss, but it's a miss nonetheless. And all 4 hits for Del Villar this summer are extra base hits. 3 home runs and 1 double. Very similar to what he did this regular season in the spring with Cal State Monterey Bay. Skies the next pitch out of play. That'll run the count full. For the Otters, he picked up 14 doubles and 12 home runs in the spring. And the headline, 66 RBIs. It led the team. It was second most in the conference. It was second most in program history. The payoff pitch, that's upstairs, easy take, and the bases are juiced for Nigel Buckley. time is called. The San Diego Bombers are going to make a mound visit. Again, they're an affiliate team here in the California Collegiate League. It's their second year with the CCL. But because they're an affiliate team, they don't get to host any games. And now also add on top of that, they play games in the Western Baseball Association, which means they double up. So they have games pretty much every day this week, if not for the California Collegiate League. They're playing in the Western Baseball Association. And at the end of the summer, come the end of July, if they make the postseason or qualify for the postseason, they'll travel to Wichita, Kansas. Last year they traveled to Salt Lake in Utah. That was a pretty cool trip that a lot of the players shared. Mound visit over. Riley Plummer stays in the ball game. A player for the San Diego Bombers jogs out to the bullpen. Told you there were some guys getting loose. Now there's a right-hander throwing. Could see another arm throwing in just a few moments. Buckley hit the solo home run in the second inning. That made it a 6-2 ball game at the time. And a quick time is called. So the San Diego Bombers had the mound visit. Everyone went back to their spots. Then they quickly called time again before their first pitch to Buckley. And that forces a reliever to come in place of Riley Plummer. He's done after 50 pitches. Came in the ball game in the third inning, so he lasts 2 full innings, just as his starter Tyler Burns did. The new pitcher for the San Diego Bombers, the right-hander is Evan Chan. We'll tell you a little bit more about Mr. Chan when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the San Diego Bombers is a right-hander by the name of Evan Chan. Evan Chan is a native to Queens, New York. He stands at 6 foot. He spent these past 2 seasons at Arizona Christian University, going into his redshirt junior season. He comes in with the bases loaded and nobody out. A tricky spot for the right-hander. Third pitcher of the evening for the Bombers. Tyler Burns started the ball game. Riley Plummer went 2 innings. Now Evan Chan takes over in the home half of the 5th. Nigel Buckley hit a loud home run in the second and flew out to right field, deep right field at that in the third. Chan kicks, deals, high leg kick. The first pitch drifts outside. Emmerman's at third, Williams at second, Del Villar is at first. Plummer walked the last 2 batters he faced. Emmerman reached on an error by Castagnone at third. Corners in for the Bombers defense. Buckley puts one over E.J. Barnes and into left center field. Williams gets held up at third. Strong throw from Mingo. It's a 10-4 ball game on the RBI single by Nigel Buckley. Chance for the Barons to keep it going. Chance for Elijah Clayton now. Bases full. He drew a walk in his last at-bat. Then stole 2 bases. Eventually came around to score on a risky play, tagging up on a ball hit into foul territory and caught by Grayson Wren. Exciting play at the plate as both players were hustling to get to the plate. Clayton fouls the first pitch off towards the Barons bullpen. Things are getting chilly here in the city of Compton. Chan's next pitch, high and tight. Clayton ducks out of the way. Clayton flew out to center field in his first at-bat. That ball tails outside. 2-1 the count. There's another player in the transfer portal looking for a new home. Native to Thousand Oaks. Hit .256 last season at Campbell. Clayton lifts it into the air. Shallow right field, a chance for Jones. He calls off the second baseman. Williams, bluff like he's going to go. Retreats back to third. Bases remain full and Clayton's retired.
Number 12, Kelly Nagashima.
Unproductive out. Clayton upset with himself, but he has a quick chat with Jackson Tyler. Relays the information on the new pitcher. Evan Chan gets the first out of the inning. Barons trail 10-4. First pitch down and away. Nagashima lays off. The DH is 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to short in the second inning. Popped up to Barnes in the fourth inning. That one lands in the zone for strike 1. Williams at third, Delviar at second, Buckley at first base. 1 hit in the inning, an error, 2 walks. Corners in for the Bombers defense. Dwyer at first, Castagnone at third on the edge of the grass. Ooh, that's strike 2. Tough call. A lot of movement on that pitch. We saw that same pitch called a ball earlier in the contest. Nagashima down to a 2-strike count. Sends the next pitch foul. Native to Palos Verdes. Played at a few different high schools, or 2 different high schools. Played at Peninsula and helped the Peninsula team win the CIF championship in 2023. But then played for North Torrance High School his senior year after transferring. He stays alive, sends another pitch foul towards the Bombers bullpen. Gets the start at DH tonight. Started at third base on Saturday's contest. Takes ball 3. Strong discipline by the youngster. Just finished his freshman season at El Camino College. He had 322 in 38 games. 30 RBIs. 6 doubles and 1 triple. Another ball slapped foul, out of play. Home plate umpire asked for 4 baseballs. Jackson Tyler on deck, 1 out. Long pause from Chan. The righty set. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for the second out of the inning. Nagashima can't connect. It's all up to Jackson Tyler. Bases full for the young center fielder. Hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Puts this one on the ground for E.J. Barnes at short. It backs him up. He goes the long way to first, and Dwyer keeps his foot on the bag. The Barons get another run. They've gone 1 run in 4 of the first 5 innings, but they trail 10-4 as we head to the top of the 6th. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Substitution to start off the top of the 6th inning. Aiden Capel to pinch hit for Josh Tornillo. Capel listed as an infielder. We'll see if he stays in the ball game. Takes over at second for Tornillo. First pitch from Rivera, right down the heart of the plate. A bit surprised to see Rivera still on the mound. However, he's been sharp in this outing. Pitching coach A.J. Monterez trusts the left-hander to work at least 1 more inning. He's at 45 pitches in his outing, 2nd of the summer. That ball runs outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to the pinch hitter. Rivera, the 4th pitcher of the ball game, has lasted the longest of the previous 3, and he evens the count. A firm strike there. Back to work. Rivera puts one in the dirt. It's ball 3. Full count, nobody on, nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Payoff pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Rivera gives the nod, starts his windup. The payoff pitch. Another foul ball. Next pitch will be the 8th of the at-bat. Here comes pitch number 8. It's in the dirt. Capel takes, and he works the walk. It's a tough at-bat by the San Diego Bomber hitter as he comes off the bench. Fell into a 2-strike count, fouled off a few tough pitches, worked it full, and reaches via the walk. Capel at first. Jason Del Villar holds the runner. The players on the right side of the field don't have to battle the sun as it's set. First pitch is in to Mingo, strike one. He picked up a walk in his last at-bat. Hit by a pitch in the third, a single in the second. Next pitch is just below the knees. Mingo also looking for a new home this summer. Spent 2 seasons at Long Beach City College for the Vikings. Chopper up the middle, could be 2. Emmerman steps on the bag for 1. Over to first himself. 4-3 double play. Jason Del Villar kept his foot on the bag. Two outs in the inning. Pitcher's best friend as he keeps the pitch count down for Daniel Rivera. He's at 55 pitches, and we'll see another pinch hitter come in for the San Diego Bombers.
Coming to the plate for number 23, creases in red, number 26, Jordan Payne.
So Jordan Baines is the pinch hitter here in the top of the 6th inning. First action of the season. Swings over the top of that pitch, and the count even at 1-1. Rivera works quickly on the mound, something we can all appreciate. Baines stands at 6 foot, native to Haram, Georgia. Be a redshirt junior this upcoming season, and he takes strike 2. He is listed as a catcher, so expect him to replace Grayson Wren defensively. We'll update you on those defensive changes once we confirm them all. The bottom of the 6th inning. Rivera's next pitch in the dirt. Right idea, but the pinch hitter able to lay off. So 2 pinch hitters in the inning. Aiden Capel hit for Tornillo, and Jordan Baines hits for Grayson Wren. The leadoff hitter Jackson Summers on deck. Rivera's 2-2, tails outside. Next pitch will be the 60th of the outing for Rivera. From the windup. Foul ball, Baines stays alive. Pitch below the knees, he went down and got it. Just enough to stay alive and at the plate. That's over for strike 3. Baines set down looking for the 3rd and final out. And Daniel Rivera faces the minimum here in the top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th when we come back, and John Arnold to lead things off for the Academy Barons when we come back. Bottom of the 6th inning, and the 9-1 two-hitters are due up for the Academy Barons offense. They trail by 6. They're starting to run out of opportunities here at the Academy for a comeback. San Diego Bombers have 10 runs off 7 hits and 1 error defensively. The Barons with 4 runs off 6 hits and no errors defensively. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Evan Chan returns to the mound for the Bombers. He picked up all 3 outs in the 5th inning. Barons picked up 1 in the 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th innings. But at that rate, they won't have enough to come back and win this ball game. They'll need to double up and put up a crooked number in one of these last 4. Arnold picked up a single in the 3rd inning. Then popped up in foul territory for a sacrifice fly in the 4th. It was an exciting play at the plate. 2 changes defensively as well. We'll tell you after this first pitch from Evan Chan. High leg kick. Arnold pulls back the bunt attempt, and that's ball 1. Taking over at second base is Aiden Capel, who pinch hit for Josh Tornillo. And then Jordan Baines takes over behind the plate for Grayson Wren. Those are the 2 new defensive changes for the Bombers. The next pitch spins down and away. The 2-0 pitch from Chan. Close to the letters. Close enough, says the home plate umpire, and that's strike 1 of the AB. Arnold, the Long Beach kid, went to St. Anthony's High School. Private school pretty close to the Cerritos border. Next pitch runs inside. It's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. It's the first start of the season for John Arnold. First action he's got of the summer. Game number 4, and that's a pretty breaking ball. Not a lot of pitchers have that confidence to throw it behind in the count 3-1. Arnold steps back in. Payoff pitch from Chan. Arnold swings and can't connect. Pitch down and away. Great stuff from Chan on the previous pitch. Uses the slider on the inner half to set up that pitch that tailed out of the zone. First out of the inning. Arnold retired. Chance for Chip Mertz. He started all 4 games for the Academy Barons as the next pitch misses inside. He just finished his freshman season at Mount Sac. Home of the Mounties. Play in the South Coast Conference. Along the likes of Long Beach City College, Cerritos College, Compton College, who play their home games here on the showcase field at the Compton Youth Academy. It's a 2-0 count to the right fielder, Chip Mertz. Mertz spent some time at a few different high schools while playing ball. That ball runs inside. He spent some time at Servite High School. That's how he became familiar with Isaac Ocampo. The two both trained at the academy and had previously known each other since then. But then Mertz went on to play his senior year at Canyon High School. That's the first strike of the at-bat. Chan works from behind. Canyon High School over in the city or area of Anaheim Hills off the 91 freeway. That misses down and in. Mertz wasn't chasing. 1 out base runner for the Academy Barons. Some speed on the base pass. The Barons were aggressive against the previous catcher, Grayson Wren. They stole 3 different times against the starting catcher. We'll see how aggressive they are with Jordan Baines behind the plate as he takes over in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chance for Mark Emmerman. He reached on an error. Came around to score in the 5th inning. First pitch is outside. Chan has loved that slider in this inning, but he hasn't always been able to spot it for a strike. Emmerman's 1 for 3, a single in the 3rd inning. Flew out to deep center in the 1st. That also spins down and away. No one throwing in the San Diego Bomber bullpen yet. A few guys getting loose. Slide step on the pitch by Chan. He misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Nathaniel Williams on deck. Barons have had their chances to pick up more than 1 run in an inning. As we await the 3-0 pitch. That's over. In the 5th inning, they stranded the bases loaded. In the 4th, they stranded a runner on 2nd. In the 3rd inning, they stranded runners on 1st and 2nd. So they've had their fair share of opportunities. Emmerman skies another pitch into the air. Barnes calls everyone off. Shallow left center field, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. Great pitch from Chan. He throws that slider downstairs. Emmerman goes down to make contact, but can't do anything with it. It's the 2nd out of the inning. We'll see if the switch hitter Williams can reach and bring Jason Del Villar for another plate appearance. Runner takes off for 2nd. Great jump. Throw down to 1st is a good one. And Baines made a beautiful throw, but it popped out of the glove on the last second. The umpire at first said out, then saw the glove on the ground, and quickly waved it off to safe. So Mertz gets a stolen base in the meantime. Didn't see exactly what happened, but Baines found himself on the ground. We'll have to check out the replay and see what happened there. Ooh. Williams whacks one into right field, but it's caught by Jones on the run. The Barons get another runner into scoring position, but they can't capitalize. That'll be the end of the bottom of the 6th. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball. When we come back for the Bombers, the top of the order, Jackson Summers to lead things off after this. Aiden Franco comes in to pitch for the Academy Barons in the top of the 7th inning. They trail 10-4. It's the 5th pitcher used by the Academy Barons coaching staff tonight. Shamir Marshall started the ball game. Dickie Taw then pitched, didn't record an out. Dalen Carey then came in, followed by Daniel Rivera. He lasted 3 innings. And Aiden Franco takes over on the mound in the top of the 7th. Barons pitchers have done a nice job since the 3rd inning. They've kept the Bombers off the scoreboard. Rivera faced the minimum in the last half inning. He was strong in his outing. He picked up 5 strikeouts in the 3 innings. Franco's next pitch to Summers in the zone. It's a 1-1 count. Summers has 2 strikeouts on the evening, a double in the 2nd. He's 1 for 4. Holds up on his swing. Native to San Juan Capistrano, going into his senior season. That's downstairs for ball 3. Franco is the new arm for the Academy Barons, a native to Cyprus. And like Antonio Lujan, went to Cyprus High School and then played at Azusa Pacific. That's inside on the inner half. Count is full. There's a lot of players from Azusa Pacific in the transfer portal because they announced earlier this season that they're going to be transitioning to the Division III level. That runs inside. It did not hit the batter, says the home plate umpire. So it's ball 4. Buckley plays it quickly. Walks have been the kryptonite for the Barons pitching staff today. Just haven't been able to throw strikes consistently, and that's cost them. That's the 11th walk by a Barons pitcher. Marshall walked 4, Dickie Talk walked 2, Carey walked 2, Daniel Rivera also walked 2. First pitch to Castagnon, runner takes off, and Castagnon fouls the first pitch back. Maybe a hit and run put on by the Bombers coaching staff. They haven't had much offense. They had a double play in the 6th inning. Runner stranded on first to end the 5th. Runner stranded on first and second in the 4th. Castagnon doesn't have a hit today. He's 0 for 2. That's on the edge. Beautiful spot by Franco. Nobody out. Runner on first. LVR holds. Franco from the stretch. On the ground, he threw the 5-6 hole into left field for Arnold. Runners on first and second for the San Diego Bombers. 8th hit of the contest for the Bombers offense. Chance for Jeremy Jones. Jones has been quiet this evening. Hit by a pitch in the 3rd and walked in the 1st. Those are the only 2 times that he reached. He's 0 for 2 this evening. Move back to second. Weird play. There was a collision between Clayton and the runner on second. Summers got bent up. Seems to be okay. Takes a quick lap. The throw is to the shortstop side, and Clayton was coming from that side. Had no chance on the ball, and luckily it did hit Summers. Kept the ball close. Summers stays at second. We await the first pitch to Jeremy Jones. Ball dives down and in. Jones was a member of the San Diego Bombers last summer as well. Slaps the next pitch foul. The Bombers took 3 of 5 from the Academy Barons last season. Some of those were important down the stretch. The Academy Barons found themselves in the hunt for the playoffs. At one point, were 2 games back when they took on the Bombers in late July and lost that game, which pretty much eliminated their chances of making the postseason. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. If you're unfamiliar with the postseason format, 3 teams get in from the south, 3 teams from the north. But the Santa Barbara Foresters play in the NBC, so they leave the state at the end of July. This ball's hit on the ground for second. Emmerman to Clayton for 1. Throw back to first, gets away from Del Villar. Another run comes in. 11th run of the ball game for the Bombers. Jones reaches on a fielder's choice. Summers comes all the way around from second to score. First pitch to E.J. Barnes misses upstairs. But going back to the playoff picture, because Santa Barbara's the Foresters leave the state, they don't play in the CCL playoffs. That opens the door for another team to potentially make the postseason. Last year, it was the trio of the Orange County Riptide, Arroyo Seco Saints, and the Conejo Oaks. The Oaks went on to win the California Collegiate League Championship. Jones takes off for second. Buckley, strong throw, but it skips off of Emmerman's glove. Clayton can't get to it in right field. Mertz finally does, but not before. Jones is at third. Tough break. Buckley had a nice low throw, but it tailed away from the second baseman as he was crashing in. It's a throwing error for Buckley. There's 1 out of the inning. Coach Bishop brings the infield in for the Barons with Jones at third base. This ball's hit on a line to Clayton. He goes home. Buckley had trouble grabbing it. It was a low throw from Clayton. Jones dodges the tag. That's the 12th run of the ball game. One 0 the count to Royce Davis, the designated hitter. Barnes is at first base. He reaches on the fielder's choice. Error goes to Nigel Buckley. The throw was low from Clayton. And Buckley just never really grabbed firm hold of it. He trapped it by his glove. Jones was there, a couple steps away, went around the catcher, touched home plate for the 12th run of the ballgame. 2 runs at the top of the 7th for the Bombers. Broken bat. That one sails above the third base dugout. Ball goes on the ground. Taylor made double play. Clayton to Emmerman for Del Villar. 6-4-3 to end the ball game, or end the top of the 7th. As we transition to the bottom of the 7th here, Jason Del Villar to lead things off for the Barons when we come back. Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Barons find themselves trailing by 8. It's the first large deficit that we've had. We're going to have a defensive change as well for the San Diego Bombers. Kai DeKremer is the new first baseman. He takes over for Gannon Dwyer. Jason Delviar steps in for his 4th at-bat of the evening. Drew a walk in his last. That's the only time he's reached tonight. First pitch from Chan, who's still out there. Misses the zone. Ball 1. Delviar grounded out to second in the first inning. Popped up to the first baseman. And the next pitch runs inside. That pitch is high and tight. Delviar hasn't seen the strike yet in this at-bat. Nigel Buckley to follow, and then Elijah Clayton, barring any substitutions by first-year manager James Bishop. He's at third base. Lorenzo Gray, the assistant, at first. That ball tails outside. We've seen a lot more walks in the last few innings by the San Diego Bombers pitching staff. Ivan Chan is the third pitcher of the ball game. Riley Plummer threw 3 in his outing. Chan has 2. Time is called by Coach Bishop. Pinch runner for Jason Delviar.
Your attention, please. Pinch runner into the game for the Barons. At first base, right here, Delviar, number 36.
Bryce Morrison is the new runner at first base. He takes over for Jason Delviar. Buckley cuts and misses on the first pitch. Morrison listed as a first baseman on the Barons roster. Just graduated high school. Graduated Gar High School, and he's the son of one of the coaches at the academy, Coach Mo Morrison. This ball's hit on the ground. It backs up Castagnon. Over to second for 1. Buckley can't beat it out. The Bombers defense goes around the horn. 5-4-3 double play for 2 outs. Call it a pitcher's best friend for a reason. It looked like Chan was going to run into some trouble. It's his 3rd inning of work. Gives up a leadoff walk to begin the inning. But instead, it's 2 outs, nobody on base, a chance for Elijah Clayton. He flew out to right field in his last at-bat. Drew a walk and came around to score in the 4th. The Barons haven't pushed across more than 1 run in any of their innings. They've scored in 4 of the 6. Clayton first pitch swing sends it foul, out of play. Clayton had a rough top half of the inning. Rushed to throw to first that he probably should have hung on to. That allowed the 11th run to come in to score. That ball's in the dirt. And then with the infield in, a runner on third base, Clayton got a chance, threw down to home. The error goes to Nigel Buckley, but it was a low throw. Buckley never had it. He trapped it, couldn't find it quick enough, and Jones went around him for the 12th run of the ballgame. Clayton sneaks one into left field through the 5-6 hole. He's a speedster on the base pass. We'll see how aggressive he is. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. His team trails by 8. 2-out single. The Barons have 7 hits in tonight's contest. 8 hits for the Bombers, 7 hits for the Academy Barons offense. First pitch, Clayton stays at first, and Nagashima takes strike one. Nagashima struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Move to first. Tag applied by the new first baseman, Kai DeKremer. But Clayton beats the tag. Large lead at first. Clayton bolts for second. Swing and a foul ball. Nagashima has a 2-strike count. Whenever you see that, you're always curious about if it's a hit and run or just Nagashima swinging on his own means. It's a good pitch to hit. Just below the hands. If Nagashima can straighten that out, might do some damage. 2 outs, Clayton at first. The 0-2 pitch. Nagashima puts it on the ground. Castagnone ranges over, gathers, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Barons get another runner at first, but the double play was a real momentum killer in the home half of the inning. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball. It's the first of 2 home games this week. Tomorrow they'll host the Philippines baseball group. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. We'll get you some defensive changes for the Academy Barons when we come back after this break. We begin the top half of the 8th inning with a pinch hitter, Kai DeKremer. Pinch hits for Gannon Dwyer. He came in as a defensive substitution. You have some defensive substitutions for the Barons as well. 0-1 count for Franco. DeKremer can't connect. DeKremer is a redshirt freshman from Poway in the transfer portal. Next pitch catches a lot of the plate, and DeKremer puts it into center field. That's a 2-strike hit. Leadoff single to begin the inning. Lots of changes defensively for the Academy Barons. So pardon some of the pauses. We get caught up. I can relay that message back to you. The next pitch to Aiden Capel misses upstairs. Kremer at first, foul ball by Capel. His second at-bat of the evening came in as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Sean Ishii takes over at second base for the Academy Barons. New right fielder is Otis Boltinghouse. And at first base, it's Bryce Morrison. Antonio Lujan is the new catcher. Those are all the defensive changes we have at the moment. Lujan, with a nice backhand. Lujan listed as an outfielder. And we know he played some third in high school, but we haven't seen him play catcher. Swing and a miss. Franco ramps up on the fastball. That's the second strike. Pretty cool moment for Franco and Lujan, the two teammates not only at Azusa Pacific, but while at Cypress High School. Played at 2 different levels together, and I'm sure even back in their Little League days. It's a half-hearted swing. Capel goes down looking silly. A strikeout for the first down in the top of the 8th. There's also a change at shortstop. Israel Espinoza takes over at short. So Elijah Clayton, Mark Emmerman, Jason Del Villar, Chip Mertz, and Nigel Buckley all out of the game. Nathaniel Williams, John Arnold, and Jackson Tyler, the only 3 starters, still in the ball game. Aaron Mingo gets another crack. That first pitch fired in a perfect spot. Strike 1. Mingo grounds it into a double play in his last at-bat. Stole second in the 2nd inning. That's on the edge. Strike 2. Morrison holds the runner at first. Long pause from Franco. Delivers on home, and that's strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 2 outs in the inning.
Number 26, Jordan Baines.
Franco not messing around, just delivering strikes and firing fastballs. Mingo didn't want any part of that. Jordan Baines for his second at-bat on the evening. Got his first in the 6th inning. Struck out looking. A little chemistry between the two, Franco and Lujan. Franco seems to be in a groove since giving up the leadoff single to begin the 8th inning. Small lead at first by DeKremer. Ball hit into the air towards the right field line. Long run for Boltinghouse in foul territory. It drops foul. And Baines gets another chance. 1 ball, 1 strike. DeKremer takes the long jog back to first base. In case you missed it, new substitutions for the Barons defense. Boltinghouse in right field, Israel Espinoza in short, Sean Ishii at second, Bryce Morrison at first, and Antonio Lujan behind the plate. First time we've seen Lujan catch. One ball, 1 strike count. That ball skips off Lujan's glove. DeKremer takes second. Pass ball allowed by Lujan. Those could be tough, especially from a right-hander. If that ball tails in and away from your left-handed glove, it can kick off the heel as it did there. Move to second. Ishii makes the grab, but no tag. Next pitch. Oh, that's strike two. Baines is crowding the plate. He didn't like the calls. It nearly grazed him. The 2-2. Baines stays alive, fouls it off towards the third base dugout. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Franco thus far. DeCrema picked up a leadoff single to begin the 8th. Reached second on a pass ball. Another 2-2, and he sets him down for the strikeout. He gives up the leadoff single, then strikes out the next 3 batters. The former teammates, Franco and Lujan, share a moment as they walk off the diamond. Barons trail 12-4 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. More action when we come back. Bottom of the 8th inning, and the Barons are down to their final 6 outs to muster up a comeback. They trail by 8. 12-4 is the score. Noah Alvarez here. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you might be joining in from. It's the first of 3 home games this week. The Academy Barons will host the Philippines baseball group tomorrow. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 p.m. And then this upcoming Sunday, they'll host their first Sunday game as they take on the Orange County Riptide for the first time this season. First pitch Sunday scheduled at 1:05. Some scores from around the CCL after this first pitch to Jackson Tyler. The new pitcher on the mound for the San Diego Bombers is Nolan Farley. The Santa Barbara Foresters defeated the Conejo Oaks 8-4 earlier today. That was in Ventura. Next pitch also ruled the ball. 2-0 the count. And the Orange County Riptide defeated the Arroyo Seco Saints 6-5. That game just went final. It's a 3-0 count to Tyler. Those are the only 2 other games going down in Southern California. That's on the inner half for strike 1. Farley is the 4th pitcher used by the San Diego Bombers. Tyler Burns started, Riley Plummer, and then Evan Chan. Tyler works himself aboard via the walk. Base on balls to start the inning. Second time that Tyler's reached base. Another chance for John Arnold. A lot of substitutions in. We'll see them get their pinch hits in just a few moments as Otis Boltinghouse is on deck. But a chance for John Arnold. Tyler takes off on the first pitch. Arnold makes contact with the catcher Jordan Baines on the backswing. Tyler retreats back to first after the foul ball. Arnold struck out swinging in his last plate appearance. 1 for 2 with the sacrifice fly. That misses high and wide. Tyler's a good athlete. Played football and baseball at Chaminade. Was a running back and cornerback for the Chaminade football team. Tyler takes off again. Throw. Sails into shallow center field. San Diego Bombers are asking for an interference. Baines made contact with Arnold. But as long as Arnold stays in the batter's box, he's entitled to that space. It's a 2-strike count, stolen base for Tyler. Time is called. The Bombers' acting manager today will have a quick chat with the home plate umpire. Chase Bowen, the lead assistant. Brock Wilkinson and Chase Mendez are the 2 other assistant coaches on the staff. Scott Stanley not here today. Two-strike count on Arnold. Tyler's in scoring position after the stolen base. Arnold can't connect. That's strike 3. First out of the inning. First strikeout for Nolan Farley. Back to the top of the order, and we'll see some new faces for the Academy Barons. Otis Boltinghouse, another young player, just graduated high school. Took over in right field defensively the last half inning for Chip Mertz. First pitch runs high and tight. Boltinghouse graduated Laguna Beach High School. Committed to Pomona Pitzer, Division III school in Southern California. Moved back to second. Aiden Capel makes a nice pick to keep the ball at second base on the ball in the dirt. Boltinghouse hit .346 in his senior year. Also scored 4 touchdowns in football. Boltinghouse rips one into center field. Summers has a beat on it. Makes the catch on the run in right center. Tyler tags for third. Great contact. However, right to a defender. Boltinghouse retired. That's what you want to see, though, for the youngster. Be aggressive at the plate. Got something good to hit. Sending into the outfield. Making the most of a limited opportunity. Tyler's at third base. Chance for Sean Ishii. His first at-bat of the ball game, and it's a first pitch strike. Wicked movement on that pitch from Farley. That one cuts outside. Count even at 1-1. Ishii has had an interesting journey, a native to Monterey, committed to Cal Lutheran, however did not appear in any games and did not appear in any games last season as he transferred to Cal State Monterey Bay. Two and 1 the count to the redshirt freshman. Does not have any statistics at the collegiate level. Sends the next pitch foul, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barons are hoping to avoid stranding another runner in scoring position. They stranded the bases loaded twice. A runner on second in the 6th inning. That's down and in. Nathaniel Williams in the on-deck circle. It's a full count. Tyler at third. Can Ishii find a way on? Farley kicks, deals. That runs in high and tight. Ishii at first base. He has great speed. We'll see if they give him the green light. Second walk of the inning issued by Farley. We'll see if they leave him in there for the bottom of the 9th inning as well. Barons are down to their final 4 outs in tonight's ball game. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Williams steps in. Pitch scoots away from the catcher. It gets all the way to the backstop. Baines can't get to it in time, and Tyler scores. 5th run of the ball game for the Barons, and they trail by 7. On the wild pitch, Ishii advances to second. With the left-hander at the plate, E.J. Barnes at short keeps a close eye on Ishii. The pitch runs high and tight. Farley hasn't had the strongest control in this inning. No one warming up in the Bombers' bullpen. Williams slaps one deep into left field. Hits off the top of the wall, but it's foul. Of the 9 home runs last season, or in the spring season for Nathaniel Williams, all 9 were from this side of the plate as a switch hitter. But one of the 9, was to the opposite field. Drove a ball deep into left field at Santa Ana College. Pretty cool moment to experience. You don't see a lot of opposite field home runs. But Williams has that type of power to all fields. That's strike 2. Farley evens the count. That misses off the plate. And the count is full. Bryce Morrison in the on-deck circle, another player who just graduated high school. Williams stays alive and sends it into the Barons bullpen. Another payoff pitch from Farley. Williams set down via the strikeout. Farley just too much gas on the mound. Barons are down to their final 3 outs. They do get 1 run in the home half of the 8th, but they trail 12-5 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Top of the 9th when we come back after a quick break.
What player on the Barons would make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welsher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Kanoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer, Jimmy Welsher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jake Klinoski. I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the sack.
I think I'd have to give it to probably one of the youngsters, probably Campo or Chip. I feel like they would make it. Campo he's our catcher. He's been calling games all summer.
Best head coach. Honestly, Jimmy's probably a good pick. He's been in the game, or Klinoski. He's been in the game a while, so that's probably best option.
Easy answer. I choose myself.
What player on the Barons would make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welsher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Kanoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer, Jimmy Welsher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jake Klinoski. I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the sack.
I think I'd have to give it to.
New pitcher on the mound for the Academy Aarons, tasked with getting the final 3 outs in the top of the 9th inning. He'll take on the top of the order. Jackson Summers to lead things off for the Bombers, but the new pitcher is Harish Balakandran. Sidearm delivery for the new reliever. Chance for Espinoza at short, and Morrison records the out. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the top of the 9th. Remember, this is the first of 3 home games for the Academy Barons this week. Tomorrow they'll host the Philippines baseball group. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. Then on Sunday they host the Orange County Riptide. First pitch scheduled at 1:05. Isaac Castañon to face the side armor. Doesn't throw quite underneath the table. Sidearm release. Balakandran stands at 5'9". Is going to be a senior this upcoming season. Pitched at College of the Canyons and then University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. That delivery, so unorthodox. Balakandran in the transfer portal. Made 12 appearances for Pine Bluff last season. That's above the zone. In 8 innings, picked up 5 strikeouts, 9 walks. Batters hit .479 against him in limited opportunity. 3 balls and 1 strike. Doesn't look like we have any other defensive changes for the Barons. The next pitch skips in the dirt. It's a live ball. Lujan asked for a new one. Castañon's going to go for second. That's a miscue by Lujan. That's a guy who doesn't play catcher a whole lot. You can see there. I'm sure he has a smile on his face. So after the walk, there's a runner on second. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. Chance for Jeremy Jones. He washes the side armor, delivers strike 1. With the left-hander at the plate, Espinoza plays close to the bag at second. Castañon has good speed. That's also over for strike 2. Harish with a strong outing thus far. Let's see if he can finish the job. He's a native to Valencia, but not the Valencia in Orange County, the Valencia near 6 flags as he makes a move back to second. Now Harish gets called for a balk. The runner advances to third. He made a move back to second, but Espinoza was nowhere near covering. First base umpire Dax Villa says, hey, that's a balk. Runner takes third. The next pitch from Harish. Jones stays alive. Jones reached on a fielder's choice in his last plate appearance, and it was a funky play at the plate that allowed him to score. That ball sails above the zone. How he scored was on an error by the catcher, Nigel Buckley, but not in the traditional sense. Clayton made a throw on home to try and get Jones out at the plate. That ball's into the first base dugout, and the count stays 1-2. It was a low throw. Buckley stopped it, but never picked it up and found it. In the meantime, Jones was only a footstep away, went around Buckley, and scored the 12th run of the ballgame. Next pitch from Harish. He gets Jones to pop up. Morrison on the right side of the infield. Battles the lights and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Can't hear it, but there's a lot of support from the Barons, from their third base dugout, especially with so many youngsters. You look at Boltinghouse and Morrison, who both just graduated high school. Ishii hasn't played at the collegiate level yet or recorded any stats. Israel Espinoza is a veteran, but Harish, a player who hasn't played a whole lot at the collegiate level as well. Lujan, behind the plate, not a usual catcher. Cool moment to see teammates cheering on teammates in a game like this and rooting them on. First pitch sails below the zone for E.J. Barnes. He reached on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. Has reached 4 different times. 1 hit, 2 walks, a fielder's choice. Popped up to second in the 5th inning. It's the only time he's been retired. That's over at the knees for ball or strike 1. You love to see that, though. In today's game, everyone's taught to throw harder and harder. You see less sidearmers or submarine pitchers or even knuckleballers. High chopper. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Strong job by Sean Ishii to stay with it. And it turns it over to the bottom of the 9th. The Barons are trailing by 7 runs, 12-5. Tune in just a moment to find out how this ball game comes to an end.
Number 36, Prince Morrison.
Bryce Morrison gets his first at-bat of the 2026 summer season to lead things off in the bottom of the 9th inning. Time quickly called by Jordan Baines. Didn't see exactly what for, but the high schooler, or he just graduated high school. Morrison rips one into right field and deep. Jones back towards the track. Great swing. However, that's the first out of the inning. You love to see that. You love to see the aggressiveness. Another pinch hitter for the Academy Barons. Tony Lujan, first pitch swinging, sends it right back. On a one-hopper to the pitcher, Nolan Farley, and he underhands it for the second out of the inning. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Number 27, Israel Espinosa.
So the Barons are down to their final out. They'll need a 2-out rally. Chance for Israel Espinosa. It all comes down to him to extend the inning, and after 2 first pitch swings, he has to take. It's almost required. Unwritten rule of baseball. Espinosa, local Southern California kid, chases the ball down and away. It's an 0-2 count. Played a season at ELAC and also played a season at Cerritos College. Excuse me, that's strike 2. Had my count mixed up. But now it's a 2-strike count. Barons down to their final strike, and this one's well in the dirt. Off the plate, easy take for Espinosa. And played 1 season at Cerritos, another season at ELAC. He's in the transfer portal looking for a new home. Solid fielder from Linwood, California. Fouls it off and stays alive. Barons need a base runner. Something here late in this ball game. That sails high and wide, ball 3. It's a full count, 2 outs, nobody on base. Espinosa stays alive, fouls that one off his front foot. Espinosa went to Warren High School. Prominent program here on this side of Los Angeles County. Another payoff pitch. Slow dribbler to the second baseman, Aiden Capel. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. A 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th for Nolan Farley. The San Diego Bombers get their first victory of the season. The final score, 12-5. The Academy Barons dropped to 1-3 on the 2026 campaign. But they look to bounce back tomorrow evening as they host the Philippines baseball group. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. Totals for the game. Barons finished with 5 runs off 7 hits and 3 errors defensively. All 3 came in the last 3 innings. While the San Diego Bombers finished with 12 runs off 9 hits and 1 error defensively. The winning pitcher is Riley Plummer, while the losing pitcher is the starter for the Academy Barons, Shamir Marshall. And for Daniel Tom, Daphne Bravo, my name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in to another edition of Academy Barons Baseball. It's the first of 3 home games this week. Tune in Wednesday night and Sunday afternoon. If you can't make it in person, you can always tune into the live stream here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. And when you subscribe, you'll get a notification when we go live every single time. Again, for the final time tonight, we're saying so long, and we wish you a good rest of your evening.